Welcome friends to the brunch episode of Dance Jam Kitchen. It's end of the summer, we have green tomatoes, so let's bake them instead of fry them. Then we're gonna top them with the blueberry balsamic glaze, a little bit of turkey bacon, and a fried egg. We're also making a side of sweet potato hash and zucchini with some basil. Let's get started. Started on brunch. I'm first going to begin by making that glaze and then letting it sit to the side once it's made, and we're going to get started on that turkey bacon. So follow me over here, and we have our turkey bacon here. We got our hot pan. You want to let bacon sit out for a half an hour. It just helps it come out a little bit easier. And turkey bacon is only 35 calories per slice if you're trying to go that healthier route. But definitely, if you want to go for the real thing, be my guest. So we're going to get that turkey bacon going. Our pan here. Wash my hands. And then I'm adding a half a cup of blueberries that I put in a food processor. There we go. With a fourth of a cup of balsamic vinegar. So we're gonna get that to a light boil here, and we're just gonna let that reduce down for about 10 minutes. Perfect. Okay, so while that's cooking, I'm gonna come back over to our tomatoes. We wanna get that ready. So I preheated the oven for 400 degrees. I got my tomatoes pre-sliced. You can either do a 1/4 of an inch or a 1/2 of an inch, just depends on cooking time. I put them out on a paper towel just so they can dry out just a little bit. Season them with some salt and pepper. We're just gonna do a light flour. Then we're gonna go into our egg wash with a little bit of milk and paprika, and then just let that drip off any excess. And then I'm adding my breading, which is a mixture of cornmeal and flaxseed. So flaxseed has a lot of great benefits to it. It's really high in fiber and magnesium, and it helps lower your cholesterol. So why not get a little bit of those extra benefits? So again, letting that extra just fall off, and then going into our breading. I preheated the oven to 400 degrees, and these are gonna take about 25 to 30 minutes to cook. And you could really use any flour. You could even do panko crumbs if you wanted to, or making sure that it's gluten-free. And this breading actually is, so. There we go. And then we have our oven ready, so I'm just gonna put that into the oven. And we'll just keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, we have our glaze going. We're just reducing it down, just letting it continue to thicken, and then we wanna let it cool. And that turkey bacon's looking good, so we're gonna remove that, just cook a little bit more. All right, we have our tomatoes in the oven. I wanted to offer another option just in case you didn't have access to green tomatoes. Plus, who doesn't love avocado? It's a superfood. It's got healthy fats. It actually contains 25 essential nutrients that our body needs. So I cut an avocado in half. I scooped it out. Actually, a lot more avocado than you probably want to lose, but we gotta make room for that egg. I also set up in a oven dish pan that the egg won't spill over. So then we take our egg yolk, and I'm using a local farm here called Anchor Point Farms. So I put my yolk in, then I add a little bit of my egg white. We don't want it to spill over, that's really important. There we go, and then after we have our egg yolks in, I added a little paprika. You could get creative with this. You could also add cheese, any other spices that you want, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of pepper. But if you can, always support your local farms and your local communities. I'm gonna put this in the oven at 400 degrees. It's gonna take about 20 minutes. So we got our tomatoes going in there. And we're just gonna let that sit, or even until the eggs cook the way that you like it. You might like to take it out a little bit sooner. And then we also have our bacon done here, our turkey bacon. Like I said, only 35 calories per slice. And then I have my glaze reduction finish. It took about 10 minutes. And we're just gonna set that aside and let that cool. We just wanna break the bacon up a little bit so that we can top our dish. Now let's get started on that sweet potato zucchini hash. Did somebody say sweet potato hash time? I think they did. So I began by heating up my pan with a little bit of coconut oil. I like to use coconut oil because it has a lot of health benefits to it, and it's a great oil for high heat. We're adding a little bit of garlic, and then I'm getting some leeks in there. I like to use leeks. They're a little bit milder than regular onions, and they're in season right now. We're just gonna let that simmer up just for a few minutes. Let those onions caramelize. So who doesn't love hash? I just wanted to do a little bit healthier take on hash, so I added some zucchini and some red pepper, but you could add anything that you like here. All right, so once we get that started, we're gonna add our sweet potato. So we have about a cup of sweet potato there that's diced. And our bell peppers. I did do an orange and a purple bell pepper just for a little bit of color. Our red cayenne pepper as well, a little bit of spice in there. I chopped up a couple tablespoons of fresh basil. And then a half a cup of our chopped zucchini. Okay, we've got all our ingredients in the pan. I'm gonna add just a little bit of water to make sure that nothing burns. A little bit of pepper and salt. And we're just gonna let this cook for probably about 15 minutes. You could cover it if you wanted to as well. Now that we got everything in the oven, looks like we have some downtime. You know what time it is. Tomatoes, they took about 25 minutes in the oven, nice golden brown. We have all of our ingredients ready for that sweet potato hash. It's gonna take probably about 10 to 15 minutes there, waiting for those avocados. We got some downtime, you know what time it is. Our dish, I fried up an egg to put on top of that baked green tomato because you always need a fried egg, and a little bit of sriracha for some extra heat. Over here we have our avocado version as well. And then what's brunch without a little champagne jam? I call this Didn't Happen. It's our champagne with a little bit of grapefruit essential oil, which is great for detoxifying the liver and the kidneys. So basically, it's like it never happened. Thank you for joining me for Dance Jam Kitchen. Have a wonderful holiday season. From my kitchen to yours, keep on dancing. I'm gonna top it with a balsamic blueberry glaze. Now see if I say blueberry. Take 50,000. Okay. Topping them with turkey bacon as well as a blueberry. I can't say blueberry. Start over, start over, start over.